In San Francisco, closing arguments got underway today in the murder trial of Cash App founder Bob Lee. Nima Momeni is accused of stabbing and killing Lee in the early morning hours of April 4th, 2023. But Momeni testified he acted in self-defense. ABC 7 News reporter Melanie Woodrow has covered the story since the beginning and is live outside the Hall of Justice with the latest. Melanie.
Prosecutors making their closing arguments today, beginning by playing Bob Lee's call to 911, in which he repeatedly pleaded for help, contrasting this to Nima Momeni's lack of a call to 911 or police, even though he had testified it was Lee who attacked him with a knife after he made a bad joke, calling into question Lee's priorities and why he wasn't spending time with his family on his last night in town. The prosecution emphasized the judge's instructions that in order to find Momeni guilty of first-degree murder, he must have acted willfully, deliberately, and with premeditation. Prosecutors say Momeni did, that he pretended to be friendly with Lee prior to the murder, that he brought the knife from his sister's apartment, took Lee to an isolated spot, and quickly fled afterwards. The motive, prosecutors say, was that Lee introduced Nima Momeni's sister, Hazar, to Jeremy Boyvin, a drug dealer who she testified during this trial drugged and sexually assaulted her. Prosecutors say Momeni carefully curated his self-defense story around the evidence, and that his defense team paid experts to testify who admitted on the stand that they workshopped possible scenarios of what could have happened to match Bob Lee's 3 stab wounds, 2 to his chest, including 1 to his heart and 1 to his hip. They also emphasized that Momeni concealed evidence by throwing the knife over the Caltrans fence and bringing his vehicle to his mom's house after Lee's murder. Also that the jacket he was wearing that night has never been located. Lee's brother spoke to reporters about the prosecution's closing arguments.
I think Dane did a great job of summing up this case and really putting it in perspective and really drawing in what the facts are of this case.
The prosecution's closing arguments lasted approximately 3 hours. The defense will make their closing arguments tomorrow. Reporting live outside of the Hall of Justice in San Francisco, Melanie Woodrow, ABC 7 News.